So I realized that I had my video in the wrong direction for the live I just did. So I'm recording this as a non-live video. All the dust. So briefly, what I wanted to talk about today is the last phase of the Balsamic moon, right? The final phase of rest and restore and quiet before we begin new moon tomorrow, right? That new energy, the new birth, new intention. And so I wanted to give you guys some tools to really sink into this and talk about a blend that I'm posting below, and to talk about a breath practice that you guys can do and kind of touch on that briefly. So bear with me. I'm like, okay, getting through this. So big thing for me is Balsamic moon, right? Everybody talks about new moon. Everybody talks about full moon. Balsamic moon is this last phase we're in before we restart. We restart with a new moon, right? And we're asked to stop. And if you haven't heard me talk about this the last few days, here it is again. And don't worry. I love the fact that moon phases happen every month. So if something you didn't get to do it exactly as you wanted to this month, next month you get another chance. And that's great, because I know I'm constantly using that because I miss phases all the time. So this blend that I'm posting, right? And you guys will hear me. I think I may have posted about this earlier, but I am not going to always tell you guys I like the science, don't get me wrong. My ear monitors are doing weird things. And I like the health benefits that essential oils can support you with, but I'm big into the energetic and the emotional support that these plant allies offer us. So is this blend got some amazing physical and internal benefits, right? As it sinks into your skin and does all this stuff and brain chemistry. Yes, but that's not what we're going to focus on today, right? But for that, make sure, because especially this blend has things like lavender, which is notorious for being a low quality oil, for people pawning things off as lavender, being either chemically altered or cut with things. So make sure that your oils, you know where they came from, not just the company, but where did they come from? Like, can you find out where your company sourced them from, right? Because that will let you know a bit more about the oil you have. Because energy, if we're dealing with energy and we're dealing with the things we're putting into ourselves, we should be conscious of the energy of our ally, right? And was it done in a loving, supportive way? So that's why you always hear me talk about doTERRA, because I can literally pinpoint the exact village and farmer and the quality and where it came from. But there are other oils out there. As long as you guys are using and you know your company has got a really good one, great. But lavender is really big for me. I'll always use lavender, because when I found out that lavender is cut with lavandine often, and which is really not good for pregnant women, I went, ooh. And I love lavender. So this blend has lavender. We have cedarwood, vetiver, lang lang, and hoe wood in this blend, okay? So lavender, right? We all know about the relaxing and the calming benefits of lavender. Cedarwood, the oil of community, of support, right? This ally is there telling you you are not alone. That's why it's such a great oil too for grounding. It's that wood oil. All the woods are very earthy, very grounding, very supportive. And it's great for sleep because, right, that feeling of not being alone, you feel like you are part of community. You feel safe and supported. That's why it's a really great one for there. Vetiver, the oil for focus, centering, right? This is like my go-to in my family. You'll see this in focus blends, in oils for people supporting people with ADD, or all sorts of things where there's high energy, there's high drifting, right? But it's also a really great blend for sleep as well, right? Because it's that centering, it's pulling that energy back in. So that's why we're using it in this blend. Okay, 2 oils you may not be as familiar with or not in this context, right? Lang Lang. Lang Lang is often used for, right, romance, sensual. It's this flowery, it's this sensual oil. But Lang Lang's energetic benefits, one of its big ones, is it helps release past trauma. It helps heal past trauma by supporting the heart space, right? Allowing that emotional healing energy to flow and release. So that's big, especially in this time when we're trying to do deep healing and release and quiet. You want that feeling of being supported, held, and allowing that healing to flow on its own, gently and in a loving way, right? So that's why we're bringing Lang Lang into this blend. And then Ho Wood, you may not be familiar with. It's often replaced as well with rosewood. But Ho Wood has the... It's this really, really beautiful grounding and can help you break bad habits and feel confident moving into new change, right? So confidence to move forward into that new moon, this new next phase, right? Because change can be scary. Change can be really overwhelming. So what I do is I take this blend and I'm like a trifecta of all in one kind of thing. When I have limited time to do self-care work. I'm a mom with a toddler who's pregnant, and I like being able to really get the most out of my time, right? So I do this with long, deep breathing or 1 minute breath. 1 minute breath is hard for me personally because 1 minute breath is super healing for trauma, super healing for cellular restoration, and it can change your whole brain chemistry. But it brings up a lot of stuff, guys, right? So if you're doing it in the 3-part version where you inhale slowly, suspend the breath, don't hold, do not hold your breath. Pause, stillness, suspend. So suspend is just being instead of holding your breath, right? And then you exhale. You're dealing inhale with, do I allow things in? Do I allow myself to receive? Suspension. Do I hold? Do I contain everything inside of me? Exhale. Do I let go? Can I release? Can I let go? Right? And then sometimes it's taught in a 4-part way where you then suspend with the breath out, which can then trigger fear of death, right? Even though you're perfectly fine, you're not going to die. Your body has more than enough oxygen. It triggers. And if you have that, and I will be the first to tell you, I had problems and I still do with all 4. So you take it where you are. You do not have to break it up into full 1 minute. Do your best. Start with like a count of 6 or a count of 8 for each, and then slowly work your way up, right? Ends up being, I think, like 15, 15, 15. Yep. If you do it in the 4-part, it's like 20 each. If you do it in the 3-part, is that right, math? 2, 4, 6, I think so. Or long, deep breathing, if 1 minute breath is not comfortable yet, right? And then I put all of my oils, either I diffuse them or I put them in the bath, or you can make that roll on if you just need that, right? And if you have Reiki or anything like that, bring that stuff in too, right? But my big thing, guys, is honor the pause, honor the stop today. Let it happen. New moon is tomorrow, not today, right? I know people like to get on that. The new moon energy is coming, but it's tomorrow. It's not today. Let it just be today. Let it not be new moon yet. Let the silence and the pause before the birth and the new beginnings happen and honor that. That's special. And it allows you to have the energy to move forward. So, I'm going to post the links and the blends below for you guys, so you have those. But I hope you have a beautiful, restorative, restful, healing final day of Balsamic Moon. And I will see you guys this upcoming week as we go into new moon and 11/11 and all of that energy. And I'll be sharing some stuff with you there. So much love. And I'm going to go take my healing bath now.